Hmm. All right. Bloody hell. Oh, finally someone's here. Lovely. Sorry about that. There you go. That's set up. Hello? Anyone there? You're allowed to talk. It's okay. Don't have to be shy. No one gives a shit. I mean, I should really be playing. I did find. I didn't realise this was on iTunes, but I found the you know possibly the greatest song ever. So what you don't understand, Ron, is I no longer give a shit. You know, saying the audio's fucked is meaningless. I had it on vinyl too. I think I had it on fucking because you could get two vinyl singles. Remember, you could get the 7-inch, which was the regular one for for gay people and girls, or you could get the 12-inch. You know, I love how it's telling me to lower the bitrate of the stream down to 750, which is exactly what I've already done. It's literally there, you fucking arsehole. What do you want from me? I was just letting you know. I know you don't need to let me know, mate. What am I supposed to do? This is the microphone. You know? It's better than last time. At least it's vaguely sort of like... Last time it was... It was a fucking nightmare. And for some reason... What do you mean the hairstyle? It's not a hairstyle, Nadji. I just... You know, my hair's grown out. No talk of machine guns. Why not? I'll talk about whatever I want, mate. I've got freedom of speech. I can say what I fucking well want. Yeah. And if some people can't handle that because I'm a geezer, because I've got shooters, because I'm a fucking, you know, I'm a fucking, you know, I'm literally out of a fucking Guy Ritchie movie. Have you seen some? I mean, I stumbled across a gold mine with those fuckers today. I have been laughing my fucking. I was pissing myself fucking. It's amazing. Do we have freedom of speech though? What do you mean? These are the questions that keep you up at night. I would, you know, try something else, you know. Well, we seem to have enough that I hear enough shit I don't fucking want to hear. And is there any better definition of freedom of speech than that? You know, when you think about it. Every day I find myself going, oh, would you please shut up? And I think that's a sign you're at least heading in the right direction. Yeah. But yeah. Oh. Anyway, look, this week I've been mostly listening to various types of grime. You know. Do you want to hear something really fucking... Do you want something that'll make you feel really fucking old? Right. The song Pow by Lethal Bizzle is 15 years old. Right. That's fucking... You know. It is. And the reissue of it is 10 years old. Lethal Bizzle is 5 years away from being classified as classic rock. This is the problem with the term. I was having this discussion with her. She like Angie on Twitter. She was going on about how, like, you know, her favourite type of music is classic rock. I'm like, isn't that a bit of a problem? That because what classifies as classic rock changes as it, because all it has to do is get old. You know, technically, Busted is classic. You know. What do you mean, whomst? Lethal Bizzle. Pow, yo, I'm Lethal the Bee. Pow, got Van Gogh with me. Pow, if you don't know about me. Pow, yeah, well, now you know. You know. That guy. Stormzy. Oh, Stormzy. I'm not very familiar with Skepta though, but I mean, Stormzy's great. You know. Do you know how good Stormzy is? The Daily Express gave his second album a 5-star review. Do you know how good you have to be as a black grime rapper to get 5 stars from the Daily fucking Express? Ahoy hoy, hey John. Now, if you want to feel old, anyone born give it a week. Anyone born who's 21 years old from September the 12th onwards to the end of the year wasn't born when 9/11 happened. Sorry, who's 20 at the end of the year wasn't born when 9/11 happened. There are going to be people on this planet who are 20 years old who were not born when 9/11 happened. Soak that in. If Back to the Future was set today, the first one, Doc and Marty would be going back to 1991. I was at work. I actually saw the second plane hit whilst I was serving, and I very loudly swore in the middle of the restaurant because no one really knew what was going on. And I just looked up, saw the second plane hit. Forget Macaulay Culkin, mate. I'm in my 40s. Nothing wrong with that. To be fair to me and Macaulay Culkin, we haven't aged well, you know. I was serving, I was taking food out to customers. I looked up, saw the plane, and I went, "Fucking hell!" Very loud. Now they didn't punish me because I think extenuating circumstances, you know. And I did refrain from fully expressing myself because, you know, you're watching it happen, and you know, part of you's going, this is awful, this is just terrifying, and another part is just going, they've probably been asking for this, haven't they? Yeah, you know what I mean. This is what happens, mate. You know, you was working at Gatwick Airport. Well, it's a fun fucking day, mustn't it? You know. Air traffic control, yeah. You have to be careful what the fucking. No, the problem is with me is on a plane is I can't help but fuck around, you know, because, you know, I have to do practical jokes and fuck with people, particularly if I'm next to someone who's scared of flying. I can't fucking help it, you know. What you want to do is just take a load of like loose, like nuts and bolts, and just when no one's looking, just take them out of your pocket and throw them on the floor. Go, where the fuck did they come from? To be fair though, the Yanks don't half milk it, do they? I mean, look at this country. We don't fuck around, do we? You know. I remember when the 7th of July bombings happened. I remember this geezer being interviewed, this businessman, big fat businessman. Like half of him was like charred up and on this. His suitcase had melted, and he was like, bloody bomb went off. Like, is the Piccadilly line still open? was a block away. Very suspicious. Yeah. No, we, shouldn't joke, I lost a friend of mine on 9/11. I said to him, I said, Mohammed, do not get on that plane, mate. You don't have a fucking clue what you're doing, right? Cheers to the money. Here's my passport. There you go. I think I did that. I mentioned that in a video. That's one of my favourite parts of the 9/11 conspiracy theory. Is that the pilots weren't good enough to fly the planes. I'm like, how good do you have to be to crash? You know, I mean, all they've got to do is point the fucking thing towards the tallest building on in the skyline. Surely you don't need much training to crash. He didn't punch a terrorist who was on fire. He kicked a terrorist who was on fire. In fact, the geezer who did that kicked him so fucking many times that he actually got third-degree burns on his toes. And do you know what pissed me off about this is that Scotland had only just introduced the fucking the smoking ban, and people started using that as an argument in favour of the smoking ban, because if the smoking ban hadn't been in place, those geezers wouldn't have been there to kick the shit out of that bloke. Oh no, they're right. It's just there's not. But I mean, the first recording, no one was looking at the building. I mean, the second, there's thousands of people. There's loads of people. So there is a recording of it. I mean, it definitely it. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Something did. I think Pardon me. I wouldn't waste my time calling into Alex Jones' show. I mean, he just screams. Yeah. Tim Paul, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to practice by having a debate with a Venus flytrap or a stuffed animal. That's one of my favourite things. We discussed this in the last one. That's the thing that you know when Bin Laden got shot and they went through his fucking computer and he had a copy of Loose Change, and I'm like, oh, I would have give anything to see just before you shoot him. Give him 10 minutes to film a review of Loose Change. I really want to hear what he thought about that. Can you imagine? That would be the best fucking film review. That'd be the most fucking watched film review of all time. Bin Laden reviews Loose Change. Yeah. Well, no, I made this, in several videos, I made this point. I'm like, if they were smart, see what you want to do is when the BNP organised in 2013, they organised their annual conference at a Blackpool, at a sort of a hall in Blackpool. I said, why don't we get all the suicide bombers, get them on a coach, we'll pay for it, send them up there, say just bomb these fuckers. Do you know why? Because everyone's a winner then. You get to fucking all go out killing the evil infidel that hates you. They are vindicated because they're like, look, we told you this would happen. Bang, they're dead. And the rest of us have just been relieved of two separate groups of annoying, dangerous cunts. Where's the downside here? I'm just trying to be fucking, I'm just saying, look, let's not let's be realistic, if we have to have terrorists, let's try and get them to work in our favour. Lebanon, yeah, there would be. I bet you people shit themselves with balloon pops in Lebanon. That video, I mean, I've mentioned it before, but that explosion in Beirut last year, it's, you know, that's up there. I mean, in terms of things that you see that sort of fucking leave a mark with you, that's up there with 9/11. I just fucking, because at first I heard about the explosion in Beirut, and I just didn't. I just sort of like, because I grew up in the 80s when you only ever heard the word Beirut in the news, and it was shortly followed by the word explosion, right? So I just figured, oh, there's some bomb, but no, it weren't. It weren't even a bomb. It was like, it was just fucking, they just decided to store a load of stuff together that combined made a fucking made basically an atomic bomb. You know. See, I'm just terrified about getting blown up. I'm not really bothered about who does it. You know. If I'm gonna if I'm if in the last millisecond or the half second I have before I blow up, I'm not going to be sat there thinking, oh God, they better not have done this for ideological reasons of which I'm vastly opposed. You know, because I'm not going to feel, you know, it's not going to make me feel better either way. You know, unless I'm literally sat on a train and I'm next to Katie Hopkins and Piers Morgan. You know, then I'll be like, I'll see you both in hell. You know. And to be fair, Nadji, I think being terrified of being blown up is not, and I think that's quite a common thing. You'll probably find, you know, it's probably a very unifying sort of, human trait. You forgot to ask, how have I been? I know you forgot to ask, John, and I noticed that, prick. No, I've been fine. Still looking for somewhere to live. Hopefully won't be much longer. I've got loads of places lined up, but till then, I suppose for 9/11, what should I do this year? I've done like, every year I've done like a live stream normally on 9/11 or thereabouts. I need to find some night. I need to find some 9/11 related stuff to watch. I need to find some truther videos to watch. Actually, I never finished watching the ones we watched last year. You hope I find a nice place. I don't. I hope I just find a place. Do you know what a nice place would be? Any place. Has it got four walls, a roof, carpet, basic fucking, you know, basic sort of stuff that you would consider, you know, to be general comforts. That'll do. You've started live streaming. What now? Don't fucking live stream now, you selfish bitch. Yeah, but the thing is, Nadji, is you can't. This is how terrorism works. The more you think about it and worry, the more they win. You know, as soon as you start like, as soon as you start letting it fucking get to you, and you start fucking, or even worse, you start sort of, changing your way of the way you go about stuff. Your wife is convinced Michael Jackson was murdered, and they all covered it up. Do you know what? Let's say that's true. Couldn't give a shit. Fuck him. Let's face it, wasn't exactly the picture of health, was he? barely had any face left. I mean, I'm literally at this point. This is the thing with Michael Jackson. It's like that Finding Neverland, or that sort of the Neverland documentary. I watched it and I was like, I don't care. You know, I just don't give a shit. You know, first of all, mate, because first of all, the first problem with it is you're following. That was came out shortly after Surviving R. Kelly, and that was fucking. That's up there. That's one of the. That's like top tier, one or two in terms of high profile celebrity pedo documentaries. You know, but R. Kelly is at least still alive and still, you know, and he's without question guilty. Whereas that Michael Jackson one, I was just like, you know, cunt's dead. He's been dead for, you know, you can say anything you want. Did I see part two? Yeah, I did. In fact, I'm pissed off that there hasn't been a season 3. I wanted there to be a new one every. I wanted it to be the longest. I wanted them to get to like. Because they're bound to do more because the fucking trial hasn't gone yet. Actually, there's the Louis Theroux one's interesting, but there are other Jimmy Savile documentaries that there's a couple that there's one I think it was Channel 4 I think that is that's much more interesting. I mean I was watching it. I remember watching one of the Jimmy Savile documentaries with an American friend of mine, and it's because that like Jimmy Savile isn't known in America, and it's the point in the story where Edwina Currie gave Jimmy Savile the keys to Broadmoor and put him in charge, and trying to explain to an American or a foreigner how bonkers mental that is. Just like, do you realise how fucking insane that is? Forget even, let's say Jimmy Savile wasn't, you know, potentially the world's most fucking prolific fucking child sex offender. It's just, I'm trying to think of the equivalent. Who's the equivalent of in America of like Jimmy Savile? Who's that? Who's that geezer with a curly hair who did the exercising? Hey, Wayne Merks, yeah. Imagine they put him in charge of Bellevue. Right? It's that mental. You know? Not Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons, he's the lead singer. He's not an exercise. He's not a fitness guru. He's the lead singer of Kiss. I mean, he's still a cunt, but you know. Well, you know, fun fact about me: when I was a kid, Richard Simmons, that's the one. Gene Simmons. When I was a kid, I only ever sent off or wrote in to try and get on 2 TV shows, Jim Will Fix It and Rolf's Cartoon Club, and I never got accepted, and I was always pissed off. But 30 years later, I was like, fuck me, dodged a bullet there, didn't I? Jesus. Hmm. Well, I was into animation and cartoons. That's why I was wanting to be on Rolf's Cartoon Club. And Jim Will Fix It. Well, everyone wrote in the Jim Will Fix It. I can't even remember what the fuck I wanted to do. You know, you still like his music? What Jimmy Savile or Rolf Harris? Yeah, Rolf Harris. His songs have got a whole new context now, haven't he? Tie me kangaroo down, sport. And to be fair, it is the only way to fuck them. You know, you went to an all-boys boarding school and prison. Borstal, lovely. Did not get bummed once. Yeah, that's exactly what somebody got bummed would say. Don't go in the greenhouse, greenhouse. You went to an all-girls school, slag. There was an all-girls school, the all-girls school in the area where I grew up. It was literally, it's called Simon Langton's All-Girls School. Slags. They didn't think that one through, did they? Backwards, that doesn't count. That's not an acronym. You can't say, you can't have ass if it was backwards. You can't have a backwards acronym. That's fucking, it's cheating. Mr. Rogers' Neighbourhood, yeah. So that's the thing with all these like fucking people, with all these like celebrities and these people from like the past being fucking exposed. You slowly, after a while, I started personally collecting two lists in my head: lists of people I hoped get fucking get found out and accused of it, and lists of people I really hope don't. Yeah. Tom Hanks, you can't have Tom Hanks. Yeah. Please not Tom Hanks. Yeah. I mean, Bill Cosby was pretty. I mean, Bill Cosby leaves anyone open, in my opinion. Yeah. No, I haven't heard that, but of course it's ridiculous. You've got and plus you've got Mr. Rogers, Bob, uh, what's his name? What's his name? The guy who does the painting, and Steve Irwin. It's the triangle of wholesomeness at Kanye's show. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think Bill Cosby would approve of Kanye. Not that Bill Cosby's in a position to judge anymore. What actor? I don't know. What actors do I not like? Mm. To be honest, there's no actors I really don't, I'm really not, I really dislike that much. I mean, if I had to make a list, Nigel Farage, Piers Morgan, Paddy McGuinness, um, really seems suspicious. Not suspicious at all. It's quite bloody. You know. Hey, do you know who wasn't? If someone had told you in the 1980s that one of the most popular and successful American comedians of this decade is going to be found to have raped more than 50 women, you'd have gone Andrew Dice Clay. How many Me Too's has Andrew Dice Clay had? None. He's been married to the same woman for the whole time. Hasn't even strayed once. In fact, him and his wife got divorced so they could get remarried again. How wholesome is that? But I'm the fucking bad guy. Oh, you know. And if someone had told you that loads of fucking celebrities and comedians from the 80s were going to be found to have been done for sexual assault, you'd have put money on Benny Hill. You'd be like, that's the first one. Odds on, you know. Oh no, Alan Dershowitz. Yeah. You know, and the problem is as well with Bill Cosby is it is impossible to imagine Bill Cosby raping anyone without bursting into tears of laughter because it is just because of who and what you remember Bill Cosby being, and trying to imagine him then raping someone. He probably had to drug the women because otherwise they'd have died with laughter. Oh no, he was. Benny Hill was very much a loner. I think he lived on his own. Yeah. No, I haven't. You know, but that is one of the unintended consequences of is that Eddie Murphy's Bill Cosby routine is now so much funnier. There's a clip somewhere online of Eddie Murphy getting an award a couple of years ago, and I think I don't know if it was the Mark Twain Award or whatever, but he Bill Cosby been a previous winner, and they'd taken it off him, and so Eddie Murphy started improvising as Bill Cosby. It's actually quite funny. I have one question to ask everybody: who the hell is Hannibal Buress? Hannibal, let me tell you, Hannibal is a caveman's name. And I don't know who he is, but when I find him, I am going to kill that nigga. We should do one where Bill Cosby phones up Bill Cosby and does the same Bill Cosby routine Eddie Murphy does. Oh yeah, Delirious and Raw are like two different shows. Half of it is some of the greatest stand-up routines you'll ever see. The other half is really fucking difficult to watch. Some of it there nowadays, it's so fucking, it's so like ignorant and fucking just it's just fucking gross like to watch. But in Eddie Murphy's defence, he has walked back all those things he said. I'm a white man. I said, nigga, I'm calling the go for it, my friend. That'll be the second time someone tried to contact the police to me today. But to be fair, Blue Guy, you've just said it too, and I can screen cap this. There we go. So now, and I can just delete this whole stream. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just a lot of the stuff of any time you're talking about gay people in general, it's not that, but I'm a blue, so it doesn't matter. The point is, you're not a black person. Are you blue, Dabadee, Dabadoo? Mm. I'm the blue guy. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, but I mean, Eddie Delirious and Raw. I remember watching Raw when I was like a kid, and I just remember the hamburger routine, the ice cream routine, Eddie Murphy doing his dad when he's drunk. You know the Bill Cosby routine. There's so many great. To this day, I cannot hear an ice cream truck go by without just running into the nearest room where there's people going, ice cream, ice cream. I like Bo Burnham. I think Bo Burnham is greatly underrated. Am I filming in an airing cupboard? No, I'm filming in a garage. Why would I be in an airing cupboard, you fucking moron? Detectives. Um, I mean, I liked a lot of. I mean, when I was younger, when I was in my late at college, I I had to, the first acting role I got when I did acting at college was a guy who was a psychopath basically, who had murdered a child and someone else. So I did a lot of stuff like, and I sort of, most of the stuff like crime stuff I read is true crime. Um, I do like. I'll tell you what. I'm trying to remember it now. I do like Luther. Luther's bloody good. Luther's one of the best shows out there. Everyone's good in Luther. Yeah. The best thing about Luther is the bad guys in Luther. They're perfect. They're so fucking like genuinely fucking freak me out. Like, Idris Elba. He is a sexy man. He better not be a furry. I used to like. What was that one I used to like? Rebus. That's one my mum used to watch. It was Rebus. Taggart was quite good as well. Um, no, Rebus was Scottish. On TV, he was played by two different actors. Who did he play in Zootopia? He played the police chief, who was he was the what's his name? Was it the wildebeest? Yeah. About Ian Brady. I know all about Ian Brady, and I'm very familiar with it. It's hey Niggy, he was Shere Khan as well, wasn't he? I quite liked the Jungle Book remake. That's something I would love to do if I had a time machine. Would be to get a copy of the remake of the Jungle Book, and go back in time like 200 years, and then show it to people, going, "Look, this is what's happening in the future. This is what bears and tigers and shit are all talking." You could show them so much fucking like so much CGI stuff from now that would fucking that would they would be convinced is real. Well, technically, there's like there were several Jungle Books before the Disney animation. There was a real life. There was a a live action one, or at least one with people before it, and then there was one after it. Yeah, I have. I can't watch. There's a film called Buried. I think it's called Buried Alive. It's got Ryan Reynolds in it, and he's buried. And the entire film is him in a coffin. He's been buried alive, and I cannot watch it because I have extreme claustrophobia. Like, I'm extremely claustrophobic to the point where I can't. I mean, I couldn't even watch that. Yeah. Yeah, quick sounds scary, but it doesn't scare me to watch it. I'm not. I don't live in fear of it. Yeah, but the live action films, that's not nothing to do with the fact they were live action. It's because Michael Bay did them, and Michael. Loads of people go to Hollywood to become directors or actors, and they end up doing porn. Michael Bay is a porn director who ended up making Hollywood movies. Yeah. There's a video I shared it on Twitter the other day of if you've ever wondered what's the worst way to die, I found it. And it's this video of a geezer who got fucking trapped upside down in was caving in these caves in America called the Nutty Putty Caves, and I had to stop the video halfway through because I was literally hyperventilating. I was having a panic attack. But I watched it. I was like, that is the worst way to die. I'm sure there are ones that are equal to it or just as bad, but Jesus fucking Christ, it's awful. He was hanging upside down in a fucking tight in a. He's literally upside down and he was upside down I think for 27 hours. And the sad thing is they were so close to nearly getting him out. You know, and the sad thing is, it's kind of his own fault because he went down. He went down. He basically he went into this. He went down this into this entrance. Into which he thought there's this part of the cave called the birth canal, which is a very long, thin, narrow, tunnel that's doable. But it's a bit of a challenge. And he went into this fucking tunnel thinking it was the birth canal, but it wasn't. He was on the other side of the cave. This was literally just a thing that was a dead end. It went up like that, and then it just went down. And the bit at the reason he got stuck is because there was the tunnel got narrow to the point where it was basically the same. It was basically just slightly smaller than the entrance to the door, the entrance to a washing machine, and he had to suck in his air, breathe in to get through, and he got through, breathed out, and he was stuck. Do you know what I found that I saw those. He's the Iceman, isn't he? I fucking saw those interviews with him. I just found him very boring. I found him to be very boring and quite sad. I'll show you the fucking. Hold on. I'll show you the fucking. There's a diagram of it. Hold on. Nutty Putty. There was a film about it as well, but I ain't watching it. Um, second. Okay. Oh bloody hell. Let's get that down there. All right. Right now. Yeah. You twat. Now. Now. This here. This is the fucking. Let's see if we can find the larger version. Oh, don't you freeze, you bastard. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Alright, I'm back now. Mel's Hole. Don't know who she is. Yeah, I mean, this is it. Here you go. This is what it fucking. This right here. So you can see here. This was the tunnel up here. He went up here, over there, down there, and that was him there. That's where he was stuck for 27 bastard hours. It's just horrifying, you know. I'd rather be. I'd rather have me cock. I'd rather have me arse fisted by Edward Scissorhands. You know. I'll tell you what. As those of you who are in here, I'll give you a present. Hold on. Here's a link to a MediaFire folder that's got the updated folders with every single video and podcast that I've pretty much ever made that's still available. If you click on that, y'all can download and go through all that for free. It should be. It's there. I've posted it. I think that's normally reserved for like $20 Patreon, you know, pledges. But I don't have that many. Do I have links blocked? No. Well, I've posted it and I don't have links blocked. Oh no. Mm-hmm. Allow embedding. Yep. Yeah, I don't have links blocked. Okay. I've got an idea. One second. Right. Hold on. I should really change the fucking colour. This is the link. Okay. I need a fucking. Okay. I think black should be better, shouldn't it? There we go. Nope, not that one. Oh Jesus Christ, that's far too fucking big. Okay, let's try that again. No, not the colour, you fucking porn inferno. Nope, not that one either. Why is it backwards? I've no idea why it's so bloody big. Um, Okay, I've got a better idea. Let's let's get rid of that and start again. Come on, fucking fit the. See, now it's vanished. Oh, here it is. It's over here for some reason. Right, there we are. There we go. That mercifully. So if you go to mediafire.com/folder, there we go. /QKOE99I21XKKH/DICK_full. That will take you to a folder that has like 40 different folders in it, and it contains everything I've ever done in the world ever. That's really annoying that it's not showing up though. Hold on. Let me. There you go. Just copy and paste that and join it all back together, and then you've got. To put your TikTok link. $100. Because I still have yet to waste my time. Eventually I'll get bored to the point where I'll be like, I'll just make a TikTok account. I won't ever use it, but because it will end up being some. It will end up being like Snapchat or one of the many other bloody apps that I download but I just don't fucking use. Anyone want to watch anything? Is there anything? Are there any requests? I'm quite happy to play something. I recently got into a binge watching of watching these channels where that are of police like body cam, but I was specifically watching the ones where they arrest police impersonators. I've got no problem with TikTok. It's fine. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just It's not my thing. It's you know, I remember Vine. You know, like I spent years trying to think of a 7 second long video. Nothing. Fuck all. Couldn't think of a bloody thing. It's not niche at all. It's incredibly popular. It's one of the. It's you know. It's You know, I mean, there are people just like with YouTube. There are people who are just like famous, who've got famous just through TikTok. They don't have YouTube channels or you know, or anything else. They've just done it through or any other or a podcast or anything. They just do. It's not niche actually. It's very popular. There's quite a lot of you know. It's not. It's quite fascinating. But it's just funny watching these sad sacks of shit who get, you know, one of the, there's a couple of them that are quite funny where the video footage was filmed on the body cam of the guy impersonating the police officer. So you get to see him. So the footage is filmed from his perspective of him getting arrested. And I can't find one, but I will be regularly checking up because one day you know, the ultimate dream is for there to be body cam footage released of a guy impersonating a police officer getting arrested by another guy impersonating a police officer. That would be the shit. If you want something niche that I got fucking a rabbit hole I went down in, like a couple of months ago, I found this video. There's this channel, which is, but the guys who run it are like Titanic experts, like historians, and one of the things they did, their sort of big, like video that they spent years working on, is a 2 hour 40 minute. Is 2 hours 40 minutes long, and it's an animated, real-time, simulation of the whole sinking of the Titanic, and it's amazing. And you sit there, you click on it, thinking, "Oh God, I'm not gonna. This is fucking gonna be boring." And I was fucking absolutely engrossed in it. You know, it was so well made, and it was so interesting. And then I found out that it's not the only 2 hour and 40 minute, you know, real time Titanic sinking animation video. There's like 40 of the bastards I found. And if that wasn't enough, it's the blood. You know, but the thing that sort of like is fascinating is reading the comments, and it just you know leaves you despairing for the human fucking race. I've seen the magnet fish. Thing is though, everything that's most, you know, things that, you know, niche of, you know, genres of videos like that, they're the ones that are the most popular. You know, when people find some, you know, everything that's popular is kind of niche online. You look at ASMR, you know, or look at, you know, people who do people who do these really sort of bizarre or very specific fucking, you know, things in there. You know, it's I mean, you know, I mean, there's, and I can, you know, and I'm fine with most of them. There's only one, the only sort of niche genre that of videos that I fucking hate and have and cannot stand are mukbangs. I fucking can't stand them. And not only can I not stand them, I cannot stand the people who fucking do them. And I love food videos. I love food challenge videos. I love competitive eating videos. I like, you know, I like cooking videos. You know, loads of different. You know, I love all that stuff. But fucking mukbangs, you know. No, it's not even the sound of people eating. I don't even fucking. That doesn't even bother me. It's the fact that it's a it is a type of video that requires literally no talent. It requires no skill. Anybody could do it. That's all it is. And it's actually when you sort of like delve into it a little bit, you realise it's actually the whole the whole mukbang thing is actually they're just drama videos, but they're dressed up as mukbangs. You know what I mean? They're dressed. They're just regular. They're just regular drama videos that are it's just people bitching about other people bitching about other people bitching, except it's done. They're done whilst they're stuffing their fucking face. But I mean, it's literally anybody in here could fucking anyone could do. Anybody could do it. There's not a single person. All you need to do is just have the money to buy the food, and that's it. I wouldn't mind if there was some sort of challenge to it, or there was some sort of like competitive element, or it was like they had to sort of then it would where they've got to push themselves to something. But no, it's not even that. It's fucking crap. Yeah, the sound of people chewing. Well, that's ASMR eating videos, which are. Okay, right. Give me a number between 0 and 30, someone. Anybody? 27. Okay, cool. 27. Now, give me a number between 1 and 12. Give me a number between 1 and 12. Hey, Josh. Josh, your drawings, mate. Since I've been down in Kent, since I got kicked out, I haven't had my art stuff with me, mate. 7. Okay. And I will download this video. And the video we are now going to watch is going way back to like I think 2010, which is we're not playing a game. Which is the first ever. See, now most people know when they talk about my drinking with Bob videos, they know about the trilogy. before that, there was one other. There was one before that. Which was called Smoking with Dick versus Drinking with Bob. Now, oh, here we go. Right. Let me just... Here we go. Can you all see that? Yeah. Can you see the fucking thing? No. Oh, you can. Okay. Right. Oh, I mean... God, look at that there. That's some fucking quality video there. That's not... I don't know what 80p that is. I have maximised it. Don't worry. Here we go. And I think, again, this is from like 2010, I think, late 2010.
Smoky me eye.
Oh, the animated intro was the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, you asked for it, you've requested it, and here it is.
What's next? I'll tell you next.
No, Bob. Tell him who's next, Goldberg.
You're next. Haiti. Let me start by saying that's
Haiti.
exactly
This is
what
about
happened to
Haiti.
And I feel bad for those people.
Do you really? You sound so genuine. I mean, you know, the way you just emoted yourself there. I just got nothing from
England
that
rugby shirt too.
blurted little fucking machine gun barrel of a fucking sentence you just spat out there. It was really sincere.
But do you realize what their lives were before that? They weren't great. They were living in squalor.
Which, of course, is a good thing because it means the earthquake did less fucking damage. Is that right? You know, they're living in squalor. I mean, you know, generally I would think of, if I was already living in fucking squalor...
He's back as well, drinking with Bob. He uses a puppet. It's the same thing. He just uses a puppet.
Because the government is corrupt.
Yeah, and of course your government isn't corrupt at all, is it? In fact,
Can I make
corrupt,
a request? Depends what it is.
Do you want to talk about the pharmaceutical industry, the lobbyists, certain companies, certain corporations? There's no corruption in any government, and you're right, they have got a corrupt government. and this means the earthquake was good. Why?
You think all this money you're spending over there is going to find its way into the pockets of the Haitian people?
No, I don't think the fucking money is going to find its way.
Because they don't
in
have
the pockets
pockets.
of the Haitian people.
They ain't got any
Because
clothes.
all the money's for you, fucking dribbling, ranting twat. Why don't you stop drinking for a while? And what is in that can? Calm down, mate. There's no need to get overexcited.
I think I've played that a couple of months ago. We can do it again.
What is the name of the president of Haiti, Bob?
Still waiting for him to get back to
Just
me on this.
asking. All the money, Bob. All of it, right? You give money to certain charities like the Red Cross or certain organisations such as that Oxfam, right? They don't just say, here, Mr. Haiti, here, Mr. Haiti President, whose name I don't fucking know. Here's the fucking...
It is true, though. He was just like, you know...
We trust you. No.
At least his videos were short.
It's actually going towards sending people out there to help them. Relief workers. You have to get them out there somehow. It also goes.
I don't think they make
towards
rugby shirts that small
organisations
anymore.
Who spend this money independently. Use the Google.
This guy can use that money to put a new freaking extension on his palace.
His palace. Okay.
Or a new carpet in his freaking living room.
A new carpet. An extension on his palace.
Imagine spending $10 billion on a carpet.
Into the depths of finding out what the Haitian president is going to spend this charity money on, but you couldn't put the effort in.
Imagine watching Drinking with Bob and thinking, yeah,
My other question is, where is
that's
this
right.
money coming from?
From where all the money comes from in the
This is fucking correct. This is the shit I...
It comes from lots. It comes from people, Bob. Where do you think it comes? Well, I'm imagining Barack Obama being the fucking sort of...
I love that
lacking sort of
nicotine-stained
character that
yellow
he is,
wall
would
and
stand
that
there and
rancid
rub a
curtain.
lamp until a genie comes out and he'd wish for it. $100 million? You're wondering where $100 million... Do you realise in real terms, Bob, $100 million is fucking pittance? It's nothing in real terms. Do you get that? You don't, do you? You're of course happy to fucking bitch and moan.
Hey, without Drinking with Bob, we never would have had Cult of Dusty.
Raped to ratchet by a fucking earthquake, 500,000 pissing dead people, and it's been completely demolished. And we send them $100 million. Oh, call it, you know, out of the kindness of our fucking hearts, if anything else, right? And you're sitting there. You don't talk about. You're not talking about the fucking corporations and the companies and the people and the CEOs of these banks that are getting hundreds of millions of dollars.
It wasn't pornography, they were just
fucking
DVDs.
person. No, you want to deny another fucking poor people who've got fucking less than nothing that's just been blown up. You want to deny them that as well. You're a saint, ain't you?
The United States sent over $100 million to Haiti. We're bankrupt.
Bob, let me tell you a secret here. Everyone's fucking
Yeah, you're bankrupt, but 78% of the debt America has, it owes to itself.
that didn't exist.
I don't know how that works. I wish I could do that.
But as long as the
I'm going to take out a $100 billion loan on myself and then pay myself back.
To decide to trade oil in American dollars, that means if Morocco sells oil to Holland, it's in American dollars. You don't have to worry, mate. You've got little Salvador Dali magic checkbook.
We're broke. We're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt.
Do you know how much money is wasted on fucking iPhone applications that make your voice sound a bit funny? Right?
I don't. I never looked it up.
Spending your money on
But the great
shit.
thing about responding to Bob is you don't have to look anything up.
Really?
Because he hasn't looked anything up either.
You know, the people in Haiti, they haven't even got a fucking tent.
Every day, here we're sending $100 million over to another country.
Do you know what I love about people like you, Bob, is you have no ability to look at sometimes that there is a third option. You look at the world and see...
Well, not really, because he only
There's
goes for about
a
2
third
minutes.
option
You
here,
know,
Bob. Let me
he's very
spell
sort of
out
like, you
to
know, he's very efficient.
It's not a case of you give 100 million to Haiti and don't spend it in America, or you don't give 100 million to Haiti and spend it in America. No, what it could be is this: how about you give 100 million to Haiti?
No, it wasn't this one.
100 million in
It was
America,
the trilogy. It was one of the trilogies that I got really angry.
6%, 5, 6, 7, some pissing little amount of all the.
It was basically the same.
and spend
It was
that
basically
on
the
the
same
people.
principle as this
You
video,
could do that
except
too,
it
couldn't
worked
you?
out as
But
something
that's
like
not the option for you, is it?
0.0125 pennies
option
per
you wanna
American
take.
citizen.
You don't want to look at it that way.
Was
You
what
don't
he was
see
moaning
the
about.
fucking logic in that, do you? You're not really capable. What is in that fucking drink?
The NFL is donating millions of dollars.
Oh, the NFL, because those football players, they're struggling, aren't they? They really are. I mean, they're just those poor buggers.
They earn $100 million a week, do they?
Bereft of fucking cash.
MTV is going to have a benefit concert hosted by George Clooney.
Oh my God!
Why would you have a benefit concert with George Clooney? What's he going to do?
To give money of their own fucking accord. Oh my God! What country do you want to live? Do you want to live in the
Is he? Of course he is. He'll never die.
Fuck about no. You do realise that all these
Propaganda buster can't die.
The unemployment line, these tent cities.
He's too small.
There are organisations dedicated to looking after them as well. Right? It's not a case of charity doesn't go right. All charity is about Haiti. And
I think it's fair to say he's probably he's been drinking something.
We've got fucking problems. No, they're fucking looking after it all. You know, there are homeless charities that deal specifically.
Do you know why he had to leave? Because apparently he's a teacher.
Oh, what a cocking surprise!
Drinking with Bob is a teacher.
Over to freaking Haiti.
What's that?
I don't know.
Ireland? No, it's not terrorism.
I don't know
America's
of what.
funding it.
You think if this earthquake didn't happen in Haiti, the United States government would have found $100 million to help the people in this country?
Oh, of course, because if $100 million, Bob, is going to solve the issue, innit? No, it's going to help. America has not fucking come running at a fucking rescue of no. You could give more. You could give a lot more. The problem with the money in America is not the fact that America is in debt mainly because there are too many people who have too much fucking money. Now, I'm not against people having lots of money.
Still not.
I would never want
Especially
to
me.
I'm
definitely. I'm not. I'm never against me, but you wouldn't know it.
But what
You know.
I am constantly sick of is people, basically, who are shit at their jobs, getting $50 million.
Nah, I wouldn't say
bonuses
PCP.
for being fired and crap.
That would be entertaining. He'd be
That's
ripping
where
his skin
your
off.
money's being wasted, you fucking ignorant prick.
Not of children. I don't know what else of. I can't think of anyone. I mean, hopefully not of adults. Hopefully not of human beings or animals.
But you're one of these people who, you look at a disaster, or you look at a tragedy or something horrible like Haiti, and you react self-righteous, indignant, and yet you don't put yourself in that position. You can't appreciate the real life situation. You can't understand that. And so you don't fucking equate to it. You don't appreciate
I think he teaches
it.
depressed people
or relate it.
that you know, hey, your life might not be great, but you're not this cunt.
Yes. Much like people, many people, even people on YouTube. There's a guy called The Amazing Atheist. He recently had a benefit
shout out.
to help the people in New Orleans.
That money went missing.
You think there is no charity work going on in America that is geared towards helping people in America? Your problem is not people like Haiti. Stop picking on fucking them.
Hardly surprising.
Your problem is greedy, big fucking, rich fucking corporate pricks, inconsiderate fucking arseholes who are only interested in getting as much money as they can and could give a shit how much fucking money they're denying everyone else.
Of course not.
Of course not, and you've got fucking so much fucking evidence for that, haven't you?
Every time I turn on TV, I see a commercial that I should text the number to my cell phone so I can donate money to help the people in Haiti.
Oh, how horrible of you! Sit through that.
I know. I don't want to. I don't wish to slander the man, but
Can you spare 25p?
it weren't even that much. It was only a few grand.
How can these people?
Not that it makes it right, but
Jesus Christ Almighty! You know, I suppose. I mean, worse things happen at sea or in Haiti. At least you've got a TV and electricity and a house.
10 seconds later, on the same channel, I see a bigger report that those degenerates from that show, The Jersey Shore, are making $10,000 to show up at a freaking bar and drink banana daiquiris for a freaking
good for them. Good for them, I say. Good for the Jersey Shore crowd. Earning 10 grand. I bet you wouldn't say no, would you?
I'm just wondering, how much would you accept? Someone said to you, we'll give you $10,000 to do exactly what
Richard,
the
it's
people
10 grand. Would you
say
open
no?
this meth lab? Yeah, right.
I've got my doubts.
Are you kidding me? Is there something wrong with this freaking picture?
Yes, you're completely wrong.
And why are you going to help anybody? I thought nobody wanted to help. I think the United States was bad. I thought we should mind your own business.
You thought nobody wanted your help? Well, you're a bit of a fucking twat then, aren't you, Bob? No, the United States is not bad, Bob. The United States does not do itself any favours favours in certain issues. But if you think that giving
that's
$100
aged
million
well.
to Haiti is compensation, let's say, for those million-plus dead Iraqis, if it's
controversial
compensation
politics
for Guantanamo Bay, if it's compensation for all the wrong that you do, two wrongs don't make a right, but one right doesn't erase
what do you miss? Everything,
wrong.
Pira.
No one's ever said they don't want your help, you spastic. Do you know what's funny about this, Bob?
No, I cancelled. I said spastic. Cancelled.
That your country is actually caring about other people in the world. I mean, aren't you the fucking country? Pardon me if I'm wrong here, Bob, but aren't you the country that goes on about how
you specifically, Bob?
We are the leaders
the
of
Democratic
the free world,
People's Republic of Bob.
Beacon of light. Well, do you know what? If you want to be the leader of the free world, you have to help the people you're leading, dipshit. And much like the fucking president of your country, Bob, you've got to stop looking at the world and seeing
it's a bit late for that
only
minute. Yeah.
black and white. Because I know there's an act to this.
Drinking with what about Bob? Yeah.
But what you're saying is quite simply shit. This has been Smoking with Dick. I hope you've enjoyed this show. I'm sure the responses from the supporters of Drinking with Bob will really appreciate it. Richard D. Coughlan 66. Good night, make up your list.
There you go. Now the epic ponage of Pat Condell. Let me see if I can. I'll just do a search for Pat Condell. It's looking. Here we are, found it. God, there's a lot of videos. Now I should say, folks, the reason that Silver Era is asking me to play this video is because he made it. Glad to see I've mellowed of age. Yeah. That was me when I used to, yeah, but back then I used to make like 3 videos a week. So you gotta, this particular video was made by Silver Era, not by me, but it was based on a video I made, which was my epic ponage of Glenn Beck, and it was fundamentally the same idea, which was basically responding to someone but without actually using your own clips, because I couldn't be bothered. Pat Condell, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. He's still going. He's still around. He must be like fucking... God, he must be like 73 or something by now. The following video contains scenes some viewers will Condell fanboys will find offensive. It includes ridicule, parody, and general ponage. They don't get that anymore. Of the all-knowing Pope of atheism. We never did do a Bitch Beard album.
Always going to be miserable here. Always going to be in a bad.
Oh, we need to watch the Brett Keane reading that PM from Pat Condell. That was amazing, that video.
Down at the roadside at every opportunity, shouting at people.
Mosque, Islamophobia, the burqa, Sharia, the Islam.
How long did this take you to edit?
Islam, Muslim, mosque, Islamic.
Well, of course they do. I mean, Condell still exists.
The ground zero mosque, Islamist, political correctness, stealth, jihad, burqa. Islam, mosques, Islam, the burqa, the ground zero.
What kind of a life is that?
If the man exists, then so does the fan.
Personally, I don't do hate speech because I think hate is a self-destructive emotion and therefore rather a stupid one.
About a week. Alright, you did it in bits. I remember I did the Glenn Beck one in one go and it took about 19 hours.
It's at times like this, isn't it, that you realise just how much we need the United Nations. About as much as we need an ear infection.
Oh, classic Condell line there. You better calm down. I am going to shit my pants. Well, dude, you're saying that in my live stream, and you know, who if you're in my live stream, who am I to sit there and talk about sinking into irrelevance and extinction? I feel sorry for that kid. That was horrible. My favourite Bitchbeard one was the Lamb of God.
All you Americans who've been following the Islamization of Europe, if any of you are still nursing
My cock.
it's
I
time to
forgot
wake up
about that.
and run,
My cock.
because the moment of truth has arrived.
My cock. He does turn into Skeletor.
There's a plan
My
afoot to
cock
build a
was
13-story
there.
Islamic center and mosque a few yards from Ground Zero in New York.
Troll 2 clip
Is
classic.
it possible to be astonished but not surprised?
Yeah.
Apparently it's not enough that nearly 3,000 innocent people had to lose their lives in a hideous act of religious mass murder.
Well, these are all memes, aren't they?
And the religion that murdered them
Fucking lunatic.
allowed to build a towering triumphalist
Cock.
on the ground where they died.
That was Ginger Greek's I'm Fat video, wasn't it?
Is America losing its mind?
Oh, Copper Cat.
Yet how typical of Islam.
There's a
with
fucking
its
weird
own
story
hair-trigger
arc.
sensitivity to the
He's the
slightest
bizarro
imagined
world
insult to
fucking
do something
ContraPoint.
so arrogant and so insensitive. It's going to cost $100 million to build this thing, but nobody's prepared to say where the money's coming from.
My cock.
You know, it seems to me a much more appropriate place for a mosque in New York would be the United Nations building itself. Because that organisation has become so Islamo-friendly in recent years that, frankly, I'm surprised it doesn't already have a minaret.
It's absolutely true because I read
Oh,
it
Dan
in
and
the
Dan. I
Daily
saw him live. I say
You know,
them,
I'm not even American.
him live.
Really?
I
But it
genuinely
makes me
thought they were
sick to my
twins
stomach
for, like,
to think that
years.
Islam is going to
Then
be
I saw him
allowed
live and it's just
anywhere
one
near
bloke.
Zero.
You get nothing.
Because 9/11 could never have happened if not for Islam and its teachings. And it has no right even to call itself a religion.
Wanker!
And we have no obligation to make allowances for it any more than we do for Nazism.
It's a good job you don't fucking changed your opinion on that, ain't you? Oh God, happy! You have to put a happy cabby clip in there. There's an Onision clip as well coming up, Josh. You let yourself down with that.
Both are totalitarian and both divide the world unnecessarily into us and them, the pure and the impure.
This is the definition
Right there,
of
see,
hypocrite.
that was Happy
We were all
Cabby
more or less on
twice,
the same
and
side
then
against the
Onision.
Nazis, whereas the Islamo-Nazis have got plenty of friends among people in the West who ought to know better. It's true that diversity's been good for America. It's been the making of that country.
God,
But
that was an
American diversity has always been grounded in respect for the values, the individual liberties that make America what it is. Islam rejects those values.
A despicable bunch.
Islam despises what America is.
I became an acquired taste.
It rejects everything America stands for, including freedom, and
My cock.
and any Muslim who denies that is a liar.
Oh, laughing baby.
The organisation behind this scheme is called
Nanny shagging tossman.
I think there was a period of about 6 months where most of these clips were
practice.
just randomly inserted into any video I
And
did.
of course they know how insulting it is, how offensive it is.
Fuck you.
And they also know that once it's
Gary,
built,
love
it will
him.
be there forever, as a permanent, gloating in triumph, and a major bridgehead in the ongoing stealth jihad.
These plants are protecting the city, and if we take them out, we may have vampires in here again.
That's how the Muslim world will see it,
I think this was 2000, yes, 2010.
and that's how they'll be encouraged to see it.
Excellent.
And to be fair to them, that's exactly what it will be.
Oh, yes.
Confirming what they've always suspected,
Teachers have souls.
that America is a soft,
Cock.
crippled by political correctness,
Niggers.
confused,
Do I look like a fucking man to any of you guys?
with no backbone and no pride. They plan to open it next year on September the 11th.
That intro went in for about half hour. That was Captain
The
Awesome.
10th anniversary of the atrocity.
You're a lying snake.
Oh,
Is
Chris,
that tasteless
lovely
enough
Chris.
for you?
No!
But you know, it doesn't have to be this way.
It doesn't have to be this way. Just can't be. You used to like Condell. It's okay, mate. We all have our.
We had a similar
we all have things we're
situation
not
just
proud of.
recently where they wanted to
We
build
won't
a
cancel you.
gigantic to overshadow the Olympic Games.
So, hunting well past you what?
That's going on my
Public
fucking
opinion put a stop
tombstone.
to that,
Hey,
Hey, Tina.
fuck off.
and it can tell this group and the politicians who support
Yeah, I know.
them
He's
that
completely
enough is
different.
enough,
I spoke to him a couple of years ago.
and that this is one insult too far.
If you don't agree, you
In
can
fact, could you
fuck
stop
off.
saying
And that
Coughlan,
America
please?
is a big
Really
country,
weird.
and there's plenty of room for them to build their offensive mosque if they have to, somewhere else. Somewhere perhaps more appropriate to the spirit of their religion.
In your
Your girlfriend's ass.
Peace, and God bless the kuffar.
Fucking hell. Oh, God. My cock. Anyway, Fake Sagan really well, no, I don't know if Fake Sagan mellowed out. I mean, he's in terms of like ideologically, he's like a Christian. He's more like a sort of right wing Christian conspiracy theorist. Sort of like last time I saw, you know. Actually, I think I remember like I remember Captain Awesome made a video sort of like to Fake Sagan a couple of years ago, sort of like just saying water under the bridge, you know. Let's let bygones be bygones. I was watching Emendum's video to Onision. It's still the best. It's still one of the best fucking Onision responses. You know, it's almost as good as my one to him. Well, I mean, after what he did, after the Ultimate Ponage video that Captain Awesome did, he couldn't really carry on after that. You can't really. Your position's kind of untenable. You know. think I've got a copy of his book somewhere. I can't remember, you know. It was like a sort of revenge porn murder suicide, wasn't it? Oh no, it is. My cutting down Onision videos is one of the best. I did a post about this on Twitter the other day. I was talking about like videos of mine that have been like have actually been used in higher education and stuff, and that Onision video was used as part of as a young woman I know. She was doing a psychology degree, and she was it a nursing degree, but like she did a presentation about self-harming and played that video. Got a degree, got a first. You know. Is only, of course, he's not in jail. He was never going to jail. That was just wishful fucking thinking, you know. Now there have been two theses. One of them was a Finnish girl who did. She was doing a language degree, and she wrote a 10,000 word dissertation, like analysing and breaking down one of my videos. I think it wasn't even one of my best videos, but it was a video I did to Molotov Mitchell. She got she that was her thesis, right? She got a first, got a degree, yeah. And then there was another girl I met called Hannah. She was German, but she was doing a media degree in Glasgow. She wrote a thing about toxic communities online, and there was a whole bit that referenced stuff I'd done. My Chryslamic ray guns video was used by a guy who was a professor, a PhD and a professor at a Canadian university. He played that entire video to one of his class. You know, there's like 19 people walking around with a degree or a doctorate in this world that because of me, and I got nothing. I mean, at what point am I allowed to sue? At what point am I allowed to say, do I not get like anything? Can I get a cert? You know. What do you mean we need to? You need to, mate. It was your thing. The Daily Wank was your baby. Let's see if I can hold on. I do recommend reading the fucking the dissertation, written by the Finnish language student about my video. It's so funny. It's so funny listening to someone attempt to intellectualize and like break down and analyze like one of my. It's on me. It's on my Twitter. Oh no, it is let me see. Let me find it. There's just a PDF of it somewhere, and I always like I always end up fucking losing it. Where do we find it? I've got it on my Google Drive. I'll give you a I'll give you a sample. I won't read the whole fucking thing. We'll be here all bloody night. Okay, now there's a load of Finnish shit there. I can't understand because Finnish is a fucking incomprehensible dumpster fire of a language. 37 pages, right? Introduction, theoretical background, methodology and primary data, methods applied, description of primary video, argument ponage, genre analysis, Coughlan 616, social identity on YouTube, video title beginning, first ponage point, second ponage point, third, fourth ponage point, video ending, bibliography and appendix. Like, the original video weren't even 37 pages, you know. Here we are. Data description of primary video. The data for my analysis, which is the genre analysis, are described in detail within the analysis. Analysis. So in this section, I will only describe what needs to be known about the main data that I use in this identity. The target of the identity analysis is a YouTube video entitled Cockfail versus Dick Wins. That's in this. This is a fucking dissertation, right? See transcript. She wrote a transcript of my video. That must have taken a fucking month or so. That was uploaded on YouTube on June 12, 2011 by the user Coughlan616. The video features the YouTuber Coughlan616 responding to another video on YouTube entitled For the Record, Tattoos Are Evil, which in turn was uploaded to YouTube on June 20th, 2011 by user Illuminati TV. In the target video, Richard Coughlan, not his real name, a 30-something, oh god, those were the days, British male, speaks to the, what do you mean something, right? Speaks to the camera in his bedroom, it wasn't my bedroom actually, it was the spare bedroom, in colloquial British English. Coughlan is a popular YouTube atheist with over 24,000 subscribers on his main channel, and he has been making atheism-related videos on YouTube since 2008. His videos include, amongst other things, ponage, parody, commentary, and comedy sketches. And then she starts referencing like fucking geezers that I've never heard of, like philosophers and fucking like academics who have written tomes of it, and I'm like, what the fucking hell is this? Pone, to pone, a verb, is a word that has not been included in scholarly dictionaries. But that has been featured in internet language or netspeak. There is no clear evidence of its origin. Much like the universe. No. Argument ponage often involves an ideological defeating of an opponent with a different worldview, and it is rather a novel type of an activity that has not yet been studied before. That is why, for the purpose of this paper, there is a need to describe and analyse what constitutes this type of activity. It's just so fucking. It's amazing. You should read, but go read that. The other one, this was a 27-page. This was actually an essay. This was an essay, and where the hell is it? Here it is. It's called To Troll or Not to Troll. Searching for Nuance in the Uncharted Internet Land Where Feminism is Cancer by Hannah Carolina Kubica, Kubica, spelt with K's. This essay discusses the difficulties plaguing the search for identifiable toxic behaviours online. Defining trolling as simply toxic poses risks of simplification if we consider the diversity and proliferation of trolling and trolling-like behaviours online. Internet communities build their identities and create social ties based on stark differentiation from other groups, often through violent exclusions. I'm trying to. Where's my name? I'm gonna do that Donald Trump thing, right? Look for my bloody name. The context from lols to Hitler. The politicization of trolling. I've got to be in this bit. If you're going to talk about Hitler online, eventually my fucking name's going to come up, surely. And she talks about the amazing atheists. Oh my god, it's Chris. Nostalgia critics on here. Peach is mentioned. And she talks about atheists and Christians. When the genre reached its ripe stage, it became self-referential. She's talking about atheism, inviting the possibility of reading it as satire. Coughlan 666, currently Brother Neuro, a British atheist YouTuber, for example, created a multi-layered video criticising an anti-gay marriage campaign while, at the same time, poking fun at the atheist movement. He begins by ridiculing the wrestling match style of debate by opening with a title card which reads, "The National Organisation for Marriage versus Coughlan 666. See, academics. See, it's written here. This is an academic paper that I'm great. Right. So, right. Someone give me a number between 0 and 30. Seven, 8, right. Okay, this is going to be another one. Give me a number between 1 and 90. No, but drinking with Bobby's a teacher. So these days he probably fucking does, mate. 29. Hold on, we'll see what's in this folder. Oh, there was my video debunking the secret. That was an early one. I don't know, I can't remember. I've got the video here that was the introduction video to the first ever Ponage Olympics. There you go. There's a load of stand-up clips. No, another drinking with Bob video, but oh, it was a Martin J. Willett video. If we're going to do Martin J. Willett, then we have to do the whole thing, because I've got the full Willett uploaded onto another channel. Well, I think there's like one or two videos missing, but it's a good like 3 hours long. To be fair, most of that is the last two response videos, which are about an hour and 45 minutes. A couple of tribute videos to people who died. That's depressing. I predict that at some point in the future there's going to be so much stuff on the internet that there is going to be a thing called internet archaeology, where people's job, people's job is to actually sort of try and dig through all of this crap, And at some point when they go onto YouTube, when they dig around YouTube, there will be this point where they find what is known as the Dick Coughlan Cambrian explosion. Listen, Josh, to be sane in a sick society is to be sick yourself, my friend. There's some fucking philosophy for you. Think about that, I'll tell you, I'll give you a tip in future. The most misquoted person in possibly the history of the world is Winston Churchill. In fact, he has been misquoted so much that there's a guy who is a Winston Churchill historian, who's like the forefront expert on Winston Churchill, and he actually there were so many misquotes quotes that Churchill didn't say attributed to him. This geezer wrote 2 books full of them. What do you mean if they find the Chris Chan stuff? Fuck, what about the zoo sadist stuff? That's fucking... What about anything? What if they just find Aureni? You know, nothing about him, just literally a picture of him. They're going to. Of course they will. Yeah, I think Aureni will still be alive. He'll still be talking. Imagine all the skulls. Um, I think he did say that one. Um, but honestly, 999 times out of 1,000, the quote people make is people make the quote to you. Just look it up. He never said it. You know, they're just getting on my nerves now. I keep finding part two of a video. Oh, the Kent Hovind leak. Speaking of dissertations, the Kent Hovind dissertation. Do you remember when that got leaked? Oh, that was a fun week. Okay, I'll download that Aureni video there. And the Kent Hovind dissertation reading. These are going way back. These were filmed on. This was filmed and edited on fucking technology that's fucking obsolete now. Men's rights movement. Well, we call them the men's rights movement. You know, I've never seen a rights movement that did less, cared less, and spoke less about rights, and did less movement. Kent Hovind is a domestic abuser? No. God, do you remember the 6 o'clock news? I've got the whole fucking thing here. God, some of the stories, or we'll look back at some of the stories on the 6 o'clock news and go, oh God, those were the good old days. Life went so bad back then. Life was simpler. Well, it wasn't, but yeah, but that's YouTube really wasn't the Wild West. I mean, the internet was the Wild West because it wasn't mainstream yet. You still had websites you could go to, and it was a little bit more. It was a little bit more, so we say, devil may care. Played fast and loose with the rules. No, I agree with you, Zombie. I think, I can't stand people who. I can't stand these people who sit there and go, oh God, YouTube's fucking sucks nowadays. I'm like, what's the difference? Like, what happens now that wasn't happening 10 years ago? In terms of, and in terms of content, like, that's unquestionably better. Whatever, whatever you want to fucking, whatever you're into, whatever you're interested in, you will find a fucking 500 channels, many of which are incredibly fucking, Mr. Melly. I did hear about this. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with bitching about YouTube these days, because we've always bitched about YouTube these days. But it's this idea that YouTube is that much different than it was. Yeah, but the thing about video replies. See, here's the problem, Pyro, when it comes to conversation, is people could still do that, but the problem was back then is it's like video replies now is back in like 2008, 9, and 10. Even your highest subbed people, they only had, they you could have you might only have 5,000 subs, but the most highest subscribed person might have just over 100,000. So the gap was not that great. Plus there were less people, but the gap between was not that great. So you could realistically still have respond to. Bigger and smaller users could still sort of respond to each other. Now you've got users who have you've got people who've got 1.5 million subscribers, and it's like, how can you can't really fucking have. And the other reason they got rid of the video replies, even though I liked the video replies, the reason they got rid of them is because there was, I think it was less than I think it was 4% of people, only 4% of users were actually using them, and the majority of those people weren't actually using them to make replies. They were just using them because some popular user would upload a video, and people would just chuck 5 or 6 of their own videos under it quickly to leech views off of it. They didn't make money. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter though whether they make money or not. I don't think that's well. I mean, some of them did. Yeah, but the thing is, you can't really do that if you're if you're someone who's got like 500,000 subs, and within 5 minutes you'd have 500 replies. It's like, can you be and they could be bothered, Plus, these days, you say that people weren't making money, but some people, like, if it wasn't for my ability to make money on YouTube, I'd be fucked, because I wouldn't be, I don't know what I'd fucking do to make money. It wasn't so much running ads. Running ads wasn't the thing. It was, it was Patreon. It was always like there was a time when e-begging was like shameful. That's got long gone. But see you, Josh. Who wants to watch an Aureni video? Shall we watch some classic Aureni ponies? This was one of my finest ownage hours. This was made just now. I'll mention it at the start, but this is just after the Sarkeesian effect. Jordan and Davis had split up, and they just got back together. There we go. Now, you won't see him because he's not actually in this. Davis doesn't appear in this. This was me responding to a clip from his podcast, which Davis's podcast, brilliant name. Do you know what he called it? The Podcast. He must have been up all fucking night stretching himself to the limits of his imagination coming up with that fucking one. This is what happens when you don't have any creative Jews to write anything funny for you,
And Dick Dynasty 666 with just another good old-fashioned, old-school YouTube response video, the way it used to be. The other day I get sent a link to a tweet posted by YouTube user Jordan Owen, who I'm sure you're all familiar with. But the tweet that Jordan Owen posted was one that was, a little bit sad, really. The tweet said, "That moment when you realise you have more subscribers on YouTube than Richard Coughlan." Really, Jordan? That's the level you've got to in life? You have set your ambitions and targets and sights so far down the fucking pole, you actually felt a bit of pride proclaiming that you had more subscribers than Richard Coughlan, a guy who started on YouTube about a year after you, a guy who is currently on his 4th channel in less than 7 years, opposed to you, who's on the same channel. You're basically bragging about the fact that you beat a guy in a running race, even though you started 100 metres ahead of him, and he had to go and restart 4 times over because someone came along and chopped the bottom of his legs off. Plus, I don't think it's really fair to have a go at Jordan. I could push him over the edge to the point of no return. I'll do the next best thing. I'll go after Jordan's husband, Davis Aureni. And yes, I don't mean husband as in those two are gay, no, I mean husband as in Jordan is Aureni's bitch, because...
And to be fair, Jordan in a later video when him and Aureni split up again, confirmed, said, "Coughlan, you were right, I am Davis's bitch."
Let's face it, that's the way that relationship worked. This is what we learned
for his own
when they
good.
had their little spat and they fell out. But Jordan, what did he do? He fucking stabbed Arini in the back out of nowhere, took the money and run. Typical fucking woman. Davis Arini goes publicly anywhere he can, shares private Skype conversations, even goes as far to suggest that Jordan Owen is severely mentally disturbed, suffering from hallucinations, and potentially the next Elliot Rodgers. But then, eventually, Jordan gives in and lets him back in his life. Why don't you just bend over, Jordan, spread those big, fat, hairy arse cheeks of yours, let Arini lube his head up and shove it straight up there, because that's effectively what you're doing. Davis Arini has a podcast. It's imaginatively titled The Podcast. He must have been up all night thinking of that. As it hasn't got a name, I'm just going to refer to it as Drowning in Hubris. I just found like a 4.5 minutes of it, and I'm going to respond to that. So let's go, shall we? Put up your brollies, this is going to be a big one.
Now, the topic this week is
Naked dude.
neo-masculinity.
Of course, it would be neo-masculinity because, you know, there's a few things you are, Davis, that would have the word neo at the front of them, isn't it?
This is the term that Roosh has recently coined.
Roosh V, the pick-up artist, who not that long ago made a video stating that he thought the best way to prevent rape was to make it legal on private property.
You know, we've had the manosphere.
It's called the manosphere. It's more like a sort of lump, it's a mouse, a blob.
We've had the whole red pill, blue pill thing.
The only thing I've
Yeah, that hasn't gone away.
Thing is that I really would love them to do a reboot of The Matrix, but in this version, when Neo takes the red pill, he turns into Davis Arini, and everyone kills themselves.
We have game, which is certainly useful.
Yes, game, which is certainly useful, you know, in the same way that rope and chloroform is.
You don't just use it for picking up sluts in bars, okay?
Why would you
he's
use
so
game
fucking
on women who are sluts?
such a
Surely
charming
that's
man,
completely
isn't he?
redundant. Why are you sleeping with
Did
these
you
sluts
sue
in
him,
the first
Davis?
place? Isn't that
Who?
a little
The
bit,
charm
you know,
school?
hypocritical of you to sit there and call these women sluts and go with them anyway? Let's hear him out. You don't just use it for sluts in bars. What else can you use game for, Davis?
You also use it with your wife.
Yes, you have to use it with your wife. I mean, don't.
Or in
just
Davis's
be
case,
married
someone
and then
else's.
Just have a mutual relationship in which you understand and know each other. No, you've still got to continue with the manipulation and coercion tactics. So you can use it on girls in bars and your wife. Could you use it anywhere else, Davis?
Or even your nieces.
Oh, he said
I'm sorry,
that.
could you say that again?
Your nieces.
He went from girls in bars to your wife to nieces. He didn't go to... What's next beyond that? You know, pets? Are we going to need some shovels and a flashlight to find a graveyard to go to the next level? I've got a funny feeling if your family do hear this podcast, don't expect to be invited over for fucking Christmas.
Oh, can you imagine
And
Davis's
even
family?
little
God.
girls.
Just a load of bald people in leather waistcoats.
Go on.
Sat there
Are
like that.
still, they are little women.
Okay. I think what we just experienced there was a very rare moment of honesty from Davis Arini. Unfortunately, it's probably one that he really should have kept to himself.
I mean, the way all of this started is with feminism breaking apart the family, destroying masculine role models.
Feminism breaking apart the family. That's a bit rich, Davis, from a guy who in 2013, may I remind you, you shagged a woman who was married, didn't you? You were shagging a woman who was married and she had 2 kids. One of them was only 6 months old, and to top it all off, her husband was your best friend. So please, go on then, lecture me, Davis.
Now imagine that. Imagine Davis seemed like a better option. Who was the guy this woman was married to? I want to meet that motherfucker. You know, how can you make Davis Arini seem likable and attractive?
Destroying the family unit.
And this is one of the big issues we see in modern society is that there are no male-only spaces.
There are no male-only spaces, okay? None. There's nowhere where just men can go. There's no way you could create or make one. There's none.
There are so few places that guys can go.
Oh, so few places now, are there? It was none 2 seconds ago, and now it's a few. Why are you so desperate to be in a room with men?
Because guys are going to speak differently when women are listening.
That's quite worrying, Davis, considering your videos on YouTube and your Twitter and that are publicly viewable. So that's what you say when you know loads of people can hear you. And he just said that you talk a lot more differently when you're behind closed doors.
And this is an interesting point.
Thank you for telling me that in advance, Davis, because there's no way I would have known otherwise.
Sexual moderation.
Oh, yes, sexual moderation. There's nothing like a fucking bit of sexual... Hey, do you have any sex here? Oh, yeah, was it moderate? Fucking right.
And so, yes, you need moderation and all
Sorry, I
things.
chuckled at
Could
me
you
own
possibly
joke.
take that idea of moderation and apply it to your views on, oh, I don't know, the Holocaust or racial segregation or something like that?
If you pursue the path of the blind hedonist, you're going to wind up addicted to drugs, posting embarrassing videos on YouTube.
Yes, 2 out of 2.
Because again, all of these things that we talk about, be it feminism, social justice, socialism, these are all forms of Marxism.
Yeah, I fucking hate all that stuff trying to discuss ideas of fairness and equality.
Hatred of God is a really good way to sum it up. There's a really quick and easy way to sum it up.
Hatred of God. When did you become a Christian evangelist?
Technological skepticism.
So it's bad. It's bad to be skeptical of technology. I mean, surely skepticism in anything is good. No?
Which,
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave that one for now. We might come back to it later.
Yeah, you've only got an hour on this podcast. Why? Did you just suddenly realise you couldn't really explain what you were talking about? Folks, you think he writes this stuff down? No, this man's making this shit up as he goes along.
Technology is moving really fast.
Oh, we're talking about technology now, are we? Oh, so you changed your mind. You thought of something?
Yeah, one metaphor I heard, it's like an out-of-control bus speeding down the highway with just the foot pressed down on the accelerator and the windows blacked out.
A bus out of control, windows blacked out.
He always says we.
That's
What are you doing?
To you. Why do the windows
What have you
to be
contributed?
blacked out? Or can you not make anything sound bad without making it a little bit blacker?
We don't know where it's going. We have no plan.
What is this we, Davis? What is your contribution to the advancement
Oh,
of technology?
I just said that, didn't I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the effect you've had, the detrimental effect you've had on our human evolution.
The current environment of masturbating bonobos?
First of all, Davis, it's not bonobos, it's bonobos. And second of all, when you say current environment, please tell me you mean this as a metaphor. You're not literally in an environment of masturbating bonobos. Because even if you were, mate, you still would not be the most highly advanced form of life.
I think he means him and
There's not enough for
MacArthur,
men like
the
us.
skull.
That is true. I remember the good old days when being surrounded by wanking safari park chimps was all a man needed.
Casual sex is so easy to get.
Is it now, Davis? Is it so easy to get? Well, if it's so easy to get, could you maybe tell that to Jordan? He seems a bit lonely.
And even if you have terrible hygiene and you creep out women, there's still, limitless internet pornography.
Davis has got a point there, because this is the first time in human civilization that we know of where men have not found masturbation challenging.
Yesterday there were these social justice warriors trying to insult me on Twitter.
Hold on. There were people trying to insult you on Twitter. You're on Twitter, and there's these people who you disagree with, who you are constantly going after and criticising. They're insulting you on Twitter. This is an outrage, David. Is there one example anyone can hear of that ever happening, of someone being insulted and harassed on Twitter? I'll give you a clue, Davis. You made a film about her not that long ago.
And I don't even understand why they think this is an insult. I mean,
the list of things you don't understand, Davis, in all fairness, could be turned into a trading card series.
Insulting less than the time of heartache, even though that this person, do you have a background in film? Do you have an established background?
Great
I don't
film,
care
yeah.
what you say. You're just...
Wait, so you're saying to me that no one can insult or criticise or have any fucking valid opinion on your film unless, of course, they've got a background in it. What you're doing here is kind of like me going on stage at a comedy gig. No one laughs at anything I say, and I go, "Oh,
Lost in the time of heartburn."
Do you have a background in comedy, writing jokes? No, fuck you.
You're just saying this because you don't like me.
I'm willing to go out on a limb here and say that there are a few people out there who not only don't like you, but also think that everything you do and say is shit. I think it's possible that one of those things can cause the other. They're not mutually exclusive.
Oh yeah.
He's still on
Short
Twitter.
films are a joke. If I had a nickel for every...
Davis, you okay?
I can't even isolate any of these to give you an example.
Why? They're tweets, Davis. They're 140 characters each. You just read them. It should take 5 seconds or so.
They are so incredibly unfunny.
First of all, Davis, just because someone criticises you does not mean they're obliged to do it in a humorous or witty way. Even if they did, they're criticising you, therefore it's highly unlikely you're going to find the humour in it. Also, Davis, it's very likely that these people don't really give a shit if you laugh. In fact, maybe I would say that it goes as far as to say they don't want you laughing because they don't want to be able to write a joke that you, white nationalist, on-paper, neo-Nazi, scumbag, piece of shit, vaudevillian, cabaret, evil magician-looking crystal maze motherfucker finds amusing.
They tweet random pics at you.
Well, let me say this now, because I don't want to be accused of this, right? If you're out there watching this, do not send random pics to fucking Davis Arini. Do not send random fucking pictures to this guy.
And that's an insult, that's a joke, that's humor, it's...
No, Davis, it's trolling. And the fact you've mentioned it on your podcast suggests that maybe it worked.
It's just snark, it's just posturing.
You are the last motherfucker on planet Earth who gets to fucking criticize anyone or anything for posturing, my friend.
You know, it's the same way that we pretend to be people.
Yes, because Davis, when the camera is not on me when I'm doing a live show or video, as soon as I turn it off, I revert back to my lizard form. You pretend to be a person, so you're telling me the guy you are in your YouTube videos is somebody who, in your opinion, is more of a person.
We pretend to have opinions.
Can you just call this an hour of psychological projection with Davis Arini?
You know, when we just snark at everything.
It'd be nicer if people were nice to each other. If people were more civilized, you know, and could be respectful and could actually talk to people and try and understand, rather than just, why do you just have to be so rude?
There needs to be more to life than that.
I'm pretty sure, Davis, that, you know, everybody who's ever said anything bad about you, whether it's me now on Twitter or anything, you know, I'm pretty sure they've got other shit going on, mate. In between, I'm pretty sure they don't build their life around, you know, oh, I've got to remind Davis Arini he's a slaphead little twat. But I will say this, Davis.
I don't know, Stephen Molyneux's close.
I've ever do you, and probably anything else anyone else has done to you, it's a bit unnecessary, because no one needs to actually go out of their way to make you look like a twat, because even when you say something that sounds like it's about to be a reasonable point, you know, you go and fuck it up. For example, this sentence that I'll leave you with.
We need some sort of positive ethos that involves building ourselves as human beings and building up the society around us.
Now, finish it off and completely fuck it up.
The simple fact of the matter is that the women aren't going to do it.
Bitches, man.
There you go. Yeah. Do you know what's amazing? The fact that the fucking, you know, we've had a good connection all evening. That's fucking incredible. Yeah, I tried streaming on my bloody phone again. For some reason, the mic works on the camera. It works when I'm on the phone. It works when I'm doing Skype. When I'm on Facebook, Voice Messenger, Discord, Zoom, everything. Just doesn't work on YouTube for some reason. Let's look Davis up on. Let's look up his. Oh, you said he's private in his Twitter. Well, hold on. His fucking. He's got to surely. His What's his fucking website called? It's that pretentious. Fucking name. What is it? I'll just type Arini. Fucking can't be many of them. I misspelt it. Oh god, there's this poor woman who works at the University of Waterloo, whose name, sociology and legal studies, whose name is Janice Arini. Stares at the world. That's the fucking name. Yeah. I wish that's all he fucking did. Well, I don't know. I suspect his surname isn't real. It just sounds too. I mean, I don't think anything about him is real. This is why I'm convinced he's a raging closeted homosexual. Listen to this: a Jungian analysis of superhero movies. When it says Jungian, it means Kim Jong-un. Performative politics. Politics is dead. Politics is no longer about politics. It's about identity. I'm sorry, Davis, you cannot be a white nationalist. You cannot make most of your major decisions based on race and then complain that politics is about identity, you utter cretin. Late stage capitalism has taken it over and commodified it. Oh look, Davis is a communist now. Politics is a product, a performative, consumptive act. An act of identity affirmation. Okay, and? It's no different than shopping at Hot Topic. Davis shops at Hot Topic, folks. And I highly recommend that you divest yourself of both. What, Hot Topic? Yes, get rid of identity politics and stop shopping at Hot Topic. Oh, his last podcast was July 24th, and it was called Maintaining Rational Integrity. Yep, that aged well. Yep. Oh, let's play a bit of this bollocks, shall we? Come on, play, you bastard. Oh, he's on Spreaker. Bloody hell. They'll take anyone, that fucking website. Oh yeah, funky. My name's Davis. Davis Orini. I've got an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
Evening, folks.
Jesus Christ, David, could you fucking work on your sound deadening?
Glad you could join me tonight. Back
It wasn't through choice, Davis.
to the regular
Why are you standing a mile away from the microphone?
time. Back to normal.
Back to normal. For you, this is, yeah.
Except, nothing ever works properly. I
No, it doesn't, Davis.
don't have my tablet today.
He doesn't have his tablet. Oh, good. Which... Oh, you mean tablet as in, like, your iPad, not tablet. I thought you meant tablet as in medication. Yeah. I genuinely, that was a genuine mistake. I thought he meant I thought that's what he meant.
I have no idea where I put it.
He has no idea where he put it. This is what you want in a podcast, folks, isn't it? You start listening to a podcast, and the first thing you hear is the host sitting in a echoey concrete room, 50 yards away from the microphone, because he can't find his tablet. Not that he clearly he doesn't need it,
So we don't have a tablet.
We don't have a tablet, folks. This is a fucking travesty. We're 47 seconds in, Davis, and you're losing me.
It will turn itself up. I'm not worried about
It'll turn itself up. It knows its place. Right? If it doesn't, it will fucking get that.
And I'm just like, where the hell did I put that
Yes, Davis, we get it. You've lost your fucking tablet. Could you move on?
damn thing? And digging through the back of my car. It's like, all right, we've got machete.
He hasn't found his tablet. His tablet's lost, folks.
First aid kits, got a whole bunch of cans that were supposed to be recycled.
Why have you got a first aid kit? Why have you also got a bag of lime?
Recycled last week. Got propaganda leaflets. No back.
He's got propaganda leaflets. Did you hear that? Did you? You heard that, didn't you? I heard that, right? He's got a first aid kit and propaganda leaflets. Suddenly, I'm interested. Can you expand on that one, Davis? I want what are the propaganda leaflets?
So no tablet.
No tablet. No tablet, folks. It's no tablet.
So I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing.
So, oh God, please do.
Is I'm going to be checking in on the computer, which is...
Fucking hell, this man is resourceful, isn't he? I mean, he's lost his tablet. It's somewhere. Fucking thing's probably, grown legs and run the fuck away. But he's lost it. But he's got a computer, because he's a man of contingency,
It's very unprofessional, I realize.
Is it? How is it unprofessional? Well, here's a tip, Davis. If you hadn't told us you'd lost your tablet and that you were fucking using your computer, we wouldn't know and we wouldn't care. But now, you're right. You've really taken the edge off this.
But, yeah, it's like when you got something, it's always in one place.
Yeah, Davis, it normally is. It's impossible for one thing to be in more than one place. It's always in the last place you look. Well, of course it is. You wouldn't fucking find something and then carry on fucking looking.
You don't think about it. So the one time it's not in that place, you're just absolutely screwed. Anyway.
It's a minute and a half. Just bitching about his tablet.
How the hell are you folks doing out there?
I was doing great. I'm just worried. I want to know what these propaganda leaflets are.
There. Hope you're enjoying this nice summer weather.
No, I'm not actually, Davis, because it's fucking 11 o'clock at night, and I'm listening to this nearly a month after you recorded it. You didn't take that into account, did you? You sitting there with the lights reflecting off your fucking bald nut.
BC has finally stopped trolling us with their endless forest fires. They do that on purpose.
Trolling us with their endless forest fires. Oh yes, climate change, eh? What a troll.
They're just jealous of Alberta for being awesome.
They're not jealous of Alberta, Davis, because you're in it. You immediately bring down all of the value of the property around you.
And having this thing, like we got this thing in Alberta, we're really proud of this. It's called an economy.
You say we're proud. Oh, you're proud of this. He's bigging up the Canadian economy. Right? Apparently nobody else has an economy apart from Alberta. Just Alberta. Just where Davis lives. Nowhere else. No one else has an economy. They all trade in groats.
We don't have BC is just a whole bunch of people taxing your gasoline. That's how they pay for it.
That's all it is. They just tax your gasoline, of course, and everything else, of course, because you don't get taxed in Alberta. They don't do that. They have no taxes.
Right? Here in Alberta, we actually make gasoline.
You make gasoline, do you? How do you do that, Davis? How do you make gasoline specifically? I mean, you produce a lot of gas. I mean,
Who'd have thunk it? Working hard is a good idea.
working hard. Yeah. Has this man ever taken credit for anything that he actually did? I'm sorry, what did you say, Davis? I couldn't hear you because you had a fucking cigarette in your mouth. Is this actually about anything, this podcast? Right.
Which I'm quite thankful for.
What are you saying? I can't understand you.
Because even as a smoker with this nice protective layer of tar on my very hard-working and alpha male lungs,
Christ, he must have. He must have a concave penis. I bet it's growing out of his arse.
even with that, I still feel the smoke from firefighters. It just leaves you burned out by the end of the day.
Burned out forest fires.
So, welcome to the stream.
Thank you very much, Davis. It only took you 2.5 fucking minutes.
What are we going to be talking about tonight?
I don't know. What are we going to be talking about tonight, Davis? I don't know. This is your podcast. We ain't going to be talking about shit. It's going to be like having a conversation with you.
We're going to be talking about the importance of intellectual integrity.
Thank God for that. And I'm presumably you're putting yourself forward as the perfect bad example.
And we're going to be talking a bit about the what's going on. The vaccine passports are going to be.
The vaccine passports. Oh God, God, I hope Davis catches COVID. Oh, that'd be hilarious. It'd be worth it, right? It'd be worth every single death, every single fucking infection, just to watch him fucking there on a ventilator with his cigarette. You know. Okay, experiencing buffering. I don't know why. Now it's not receiving enough data. Okay. Come on. Did I get vaccinated? Yes, I did. The stream's healthy again. Fantastic. Yeah. Why do they always play this straw man that literally there are only like 3 places people get their news, that people cannot find? People always, like, conspiracy theorists always say, oh, you just get all your news from, the BBC or C. I'm like, no, I actually am able to find stuff out for myself. You do what you're told all the time. Presumably you don't go around just breaking the law constantly, Davis. And presumably the reason you do that is because you don't want to go to prison. Because you wouldn't even get shower. You would have problems in the showers. They would just grab you, lube your head up, and shove you up someone else's ass.
Whatever damn fool thing that you want. You can complain about Russian bots. You can complain about the female Ghostbusters. You can do it.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can complain about the female Ghostbusters? You literally made half a dozen videos about it, you fucking nonce. In fact, you had one of the funniest complaints about the female female Ghostbusters remake. Your complaint was that you just couldn't believe that women would be physically strong enough to be able to cope with with a role as a Ghostbuster. I'm like, yeah, that's the fucking part of this story that is just too far-fetched, isn't it? No, he's not bitching about it. He's saying he's going on about people who like no one's mentioned it. Like no one's mentioned female Ghostbusters. Only him. Right? Are you going about Russian bots? No one's going on about Russian bots either. Right?
Do whatever the hell you want.
I will do.
If you're on the reservation. Doesn't matter. Right? It's like all these things are known. They're known, Khaleesi. These are things that you are allowed.
Yes, Davis, there are things that are literally known. We call these things facts.
Expected, in fact, to say.
What?
Nobody is going to invalidate you for believing in Russian bots.
I don't believe in Russian bots, Davis. What the fuck are you talking about? This is 2016 bullshit.
Okay? It's a stupid thing to believe in. Although they do exist, it's just, yeah.
They exist, but it's a stupid thing to believe in. How do you know they exist, Davis? If it's a stupid thing to believe or know about Russian bots or, the role they have played, how do you know?
It's a buzzword.
It's not a buzzword. It's literally what they are. They are bots from Russia. What the fucking are we supposed to call them? Yugoslavian Cocker Spaniels?
It's nothing. Nothing's being said by that conversation.
Well, then stop talking about it.
But you can say it. No problem. Go vote Team Blue. Oh, I don't like Team Blue? Go vote Team Red.
Yes, Steve. Who do you vote for? Oh, let me guess. Team Aurini. I'm sorry. I'm gonna listen to it. I might do a proper response to some of this because this is fucking. He hasn't changed at all, has he? Well, he has, like in slightly, but not really. You know what? I'm gonna knock it on the head. But it's been fun. It's been an enjoyable stream. I will see y'all later. And if you sign up to Patreon, I added chapter 1 of the audio book. Remember the audio book I started writing about a year ago, and then stopped doing? Right, chapter 1's up, but it's Patreon exclusive. So Anyway, take care, folks. See you later.